What's up, everybody? Tim and Julia Egerton here. How do overachievers like us, high performing and recreational athlete, weekend warriors, entrepreneurs, family and community leaders, moms, dads, and active grands, how do we adjust our lifestyle and attitude and get the right nutrition that works with what our body already has within so we can energize, exercise, and recover quickly to perform at our best? That's the question. And on this podcast is where you'll get the answers. I'm Julia Egerton. I'm a certified health coach.
And I'm Tim Egerton. I'm a former professional football player and I'm a graduate of Delaware State University.
All right. Hope everybody's doing well. We're at the turn of a change of the season right now.
Yes.
So we're going to jump right in because today we're going to give you 4 easy steps to launch your immunity routine, right? Season's changing. We have some nice days. It's March on the East Coast is funny. So, some days it's really nice. It can be 60, 70 degrees.
Or it could be like yesterday, 29 degrees, and wind with a wind chill factor of 10 to make it like 19 degrees.
So, and then on top of that, as you can see, life can get really crazy. So you want to keep powering through all of those changes and your to-do list. You want to be able to perform at your best physically and mentally. So one of the things you want to do is you can take a proactive role in supporting your immune system, right?
Yes.
So that it can work for you to battle all the different changes and all that stuff. And all
I was reading a really good book recently about the immune system, and it talked about how you always want to make sure that you keep it balanced. You don't want to overactive immune system, but you don't want it suppressed you don't want it suppressed either. You want it to be nice and balanced. It's a very complicated system, but when it works right, it works right. So this is going to be a pretty good topic. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, balance is key. So the 4 steps should help you to so you'll be confident in knowing that you're up for anything. So jump right in. Step number 1 is build your foundation. Right? One of the most popular ways of building your foundation, of course, a lot of us know already, so this might be a review for some people, but we already know that vitamin C is one of the most common ways to support your immunity. But there is so much more you can do. Like, for example, and this has become a little relevant lately, is replenishing your sunshine vitamin, like vitamin D.
Right.
It was real sunny out couple days ago, and we were outside, and he was talking about how we were getting lots of vitamin D, which was pretty good until yesterday when they had some fake snow.
It was sunny yesterday too.
It was, but it was cold. So
if you could stand outside and let the sun hit you and let that wind hit you at the same time, you'd be good.
You'd be good.
Plenty of vitamin D.
You get plenty. Because in addition to supporting your strong bones and your heart, vitamin D also supports your immune system. And as you can see from what we're saying, one of the most popular ways to get it is sun exposure. Don't forget your sunscreen. But sometimes sun exposure, or because of weather conditions or where you live, sun exposure is not ideal, right?
Right.
So there are some dietary sources for vitamin D, such as fish, mushrooms, and egg yolks. They are our friends. We'll talk about the controversy about the egg yolks on a whole nother podcast, but fish, mushrooms, egg yolks. And then you can fill any of your gaps in your diet or time in the sun with a supplement, like a vitamin D supplement. We take one that has vitamin D3 with K.
Chondroitin in it, right.
And so you can do that. The other thing is, your gut plays a significant role in optimal health because 70% of our immune system is in the gut.
Exactly.
You can be sure. So you want to eat foods that are probiotic rich to replace that good bacteria in your gut, which helps keep your immune system humming and in balance, like Tim was saying. So eat things like yogurt and fermented foods like pickles and kefir and sauerkraut, right? I like yogurt. You can eat stuff like that. Or you can supplement. We use a probiotic supplement as well.
Yeah. And as we're talking about, some of you may say that, I know all about these things, but you actually don't do them on a regular basis. When I teach any kind of sport, I always like to compare things to sports. Sports is my thing. That's what I'm really good at. But I've learned that in life, it can be interchange, sports and the things that you do in life. And
Right.
so whenever I'm starting somebody out in a sport, I always try to build a foundation. And if I'm playing with a basketball player, you got to have good feet. That's the foundation of building. Being a good defender, being a good jump shot shooter. You got to have good feet. We're the foundation. A football player, tennis, you name the sport. There's this foundation. Wrestlers, they got to have a good balance. So you always start with the foundation. So these tips that Julia just went over, when you start building your immune system, if you're not doing this stuff on a daily basis, it's a good foundation. It's a great place to start.
Right. That's good. Thanks for summing that up. So good foundation, vitamin D and probiotics. Immunity starts in the gut. Step 2 is stay prepared. So now that your immune system has a good foundation, as Tim was just saying, then what you want to do is you'll need antioxidant protection for your natural defense system. So a good way to do that is to make sure you're eating lots of colorful fruits and vegetables, as many as possible. Hence the post that we posted yesterday, right?
Exactly.
Lots of colorful fruits and vegetables. They're very good. They're good for you. They do taste good. Go from, like Dr. Sears said, from don't like to love.
Right.
Right? So a good tip is to keep them in front of you, like front and center in front of the refrigerator or on a countertop so you can grab and go. Use things like berries. They're easy to grab and go. Citrus fruits that are rich in vitamin C, like an orange. Like I keep them in the fridge, but then I'll put it on the counter at night so it can get lukewarm, right? You can just grab it and go. Bananas, we keep those on the counter, on the micro, so we can grab and go.
Right.
Copper and iron filled spinach and garlic all have immune system benefits. Get a handful of spinach, a little bit of garlic, a handful of spinach, and throw it in a blender. We'll get to that with some berries, a mango or something like that. Throw it in a smoothie. Holy basil and zinc.
Holy basil. I like my basil. The
holy basil and zinc. They also support your natural defenses and they support respiratory health.
Right. Exactly.
So anyone having upper respiratory conditions or situations, they support holy basil and zinc help support respiratory health. And then, of course, supplements are a great way to fill the gaps.
Right, exactly.
We take an immunity defense, a supplement called immunity defense, which has zinc and holy basil. It also has copper and psyllium and antioxidant phytonutrients in it. Most of the supplements, all the supplements we take have phytonutrients in it. What did you want to say?
No, so like in this thing here, as you build a foundation, as when I'm working with an athlete and I help them build a foundation, once you get a good foundation, now they become what I call creative within the foundation. So now you start to be able to expand things. You start to be able to get good at other things outside of the basics because you have a good foundation.
Right.
So with me, I'll give you a quick story. When I was about 25 years old, I was in a barbershop. And a guy, I remember Kendall Rooney was cutting hair and he was sick. And at the time, I used to take Tylenol Flu, you name it, Alka-Seltzer Plus. I took all that stuff. But he was telling the guy, he wasn't speaking to me. He was talking to another guy. The guy was asking him, I seen that he was battling this cold. So the guy asked him, like, why don't you take some Tylenol Flu or something? He said, nah, man, I'm just going to battle through it because, I want my immune system to get stronger. And I was like, what? I had never heard anything about that. So from that day, I'm like, I'm going to start trying that, and that was like me starting to build the foundation of my immune system. And it helped me out tremendously over the years. But once I had to start, as I got older, I had to start doing some of the stuff that you're talking about now. I started to add on to things.
Right.
I had to keep adding different things into the mix to keep the immune system strong. Because as I got older, I knew my body didn't respond the same way that it did when I was younger. So that's a very interesting point when you talk about, after you get your foundation, then these things are stuff to help you get more creative within the foundation.
Right. You started adding things, like you started taking things like that holy basil and zinc. Like I started taking zinc some time ago. My mom had told me about it as well. And then elderberry and vitamin C and all that stuff. So good point. Those are the creative things. Now that you have a foundation, you can start to get creative and start adding those things. Create whatever works for you.
Right.